Good morning, everyone. I am now in Lishui of Zhejiang province. The 2024 FIAP World Photographers Conference is to be held in Lishui, Zhejiang province, and we take a tour here to have a look at the photography works from this conference. As you can see, we are in front of the Museum of Photography in Lishui, and we have invited the organizer of this conference, Mr. Wang, to introduce more. Hello, everyone. I am Wang Yu. Over our walk, please share with us about the highlights of this conference and about this museum. Our museum was founded in 2007. I heard that this was the first one photography museum backed by the government in China. So for the Photographers Conference, there must be the photographers invited on every occasion. Yes, we undertake the responsibility of exhibiting the photographers' works, and we also have a photography festival. They were both held biannually, and every time we will have a ranking to exhibit those selected works. In terms of the rankings, what are the candidates included this year? We started this activity in 2013. The Lishui Photography Museum initiated this exhibition. Dozens of judges selected the photography works, and finally, they would choose 10 photography works from the photographers. I see many works in terms of presentation and layout of those works. What are the features? We are trying to be innovative in terms of the exhibition method. We are trying to combine traditional exhibition with more modern elements. But of course, you need to look at the details of the works. By that combination, what do you mean? Because there are so many works included in the rankings. So could you please introduce more about such a combination? For example, traditionally, for the same sized works, they might be presented on the same plane. But now we have more diversified presentation method. For example, there would be one standalone photography work hanging on the wall, but by their side, there might be some physical objects serving as decorations, or maybe some books or notebooks. This is a special exhibition. What is the name of it? It's called Jiu'er. The photographer comes from northeastern China, Wang Naigong, from Jingzhou, and he has a friend called Jiu'er who got cancer years ago. And hearing that news, Mr. Wang took his camera and entered into his friend's life. So he took many photos of his friend in order to present their lives. In the beginning, the whole family was heart-wrenched by the sad news, but gradually they relented. But still, the whole family accompanied that patient till the end of her life. So, what about those plants? Were they picked by the photographers themselves? Yes. It was a sudden news. We have undergone rounds of communications, and we hope to prepare his works to the best of our capabilities. We hope that we could achieve the best. I also sense that you have more diversified methodologies of exhibition, and also the photographers are innovating their creation styles. Could you please show us more? Of course. For the works included in this exhibition hall, they were captured photos, and the majority of the photos were taken from their lives or their traveling. And also, the photographer made an album, and he's famous for such albums. His name is Bai Shan. I also see some realistic photos here. How do you define those works? The owner is called Zhang Lanpo. Zhang usually takes very big photos. And the elements in the works were firstly taken into photos, and then with computer science, those elements were pieced together to become the whole artwork. So it could be called AI photography? Not really. He took photos of every object and every element, and then he put all of those elements together in one space in the photo. What about the dragons and birds? He took photos of those? Yes. What's your take of this new styles? With technological development in this new era, the creation methods are also evolving. We could gain nutrients from technologies and be inspired accordingly by technologies. This year, we also have an exhibition about AI works. The artist was from Guangzhou. His name is Fang Zheng. All of these artists' works are made with AI support. She typed in AI instructions, and some photos are generated by the AI technology. And also, even the author or the photographer were virtual, made by AI. And as to the texts came out from ChatGPT. Thank you, Mr. Wang. Your museum is one of the 4 main exhibition halls, and we have specially invited the deputy curator of Lishui Photography Museum to introduce more. Hello, Mr. Wang. Could you please introduce to us about the exhibitions in this 2024 FIAP World Photographers Conference? 116 countries were involved, with about 2,600 photographers applying. We have exhibited 10,000 works, which breaks the new historical record. And this year, there were 4 exhibition halls, Lishui Photography and Culture Center, which was newly built, is one of them. And the national and world photographers could take that center as their new home. It is very big, with a construction area of 35,000 square meters. And on the first floor, you could see the collections. We exhibit the works created by the candidates. And on the second floor, we invited some famous artists to exhibit their works. Some are from international organizations, some are from US. In addition to that center, what about the other exhibition sites? We have a Lishui Photographer Park, which has been a permanent exhibition hall. And also the other is Lishui Gallery. So there are 4 exhibition sites. And also you have some exhibitions of the intangible cultural heritage. Yes, we do. The collections were shown in the gallery. So where are we going right now? How about we go to the center first? I remember the other 2 sites were reconstructed from the pump station. If you dismantle the wall, you could see the park. It has about 100 mu land area. This site used to be a pump station from the 1950s and 60s. In 2009, that factory site was taken as the site for the photography festival. And in the heart of photographers in China, this pump station site was very impressive. And also Lishui Municipal Gallery is another site. It is responsible for exhibiting the international works, for example, intangible cultural heritage, the higher learning institutions collections will be shown there. And I hear that there is a very special exhibition about the Tibetan works. Exactly. This year marks the 30th anniversary of Zhejiang province's assistance to Tibet, and I myself was one volunteer. So through the cultural communication and tourism communication, we could build a bridge between Zhejiang and Tibet. For 30 years' time, this is the first time for us to exhibit the Tibet-themed photography. Now let's take a tour inside the Photography and Culture Center in Lishui. After this exhibition, there would be more improvements done to the center. This is the first time for the center to be used for the festival. In the previous festivals, one loophole was about the unstable options of exhibition sites. We changed the sites every year. It was painful. But this year, with this main exhibition site, the photographers in the world would have a permanent residence here. It's a very professional site. Days ago, Jim from the US said that it could be compared to the Guggenheim Museum in the USA. So, how many floors are there in the hall? And what are the collections in this site? Over here, that's about the exhibition of products. Let's walk over here. For this part, it's about some cultural and creative products in Lishui. The Tibetan works and Xinjiang creative products are exhibited here. Those are some photography-related devices, including displays, albums, books. And if we walk further, I took my tour here yesterday, and I noticed that there is a freestyle exhibition pavilion. Yes, that is actually the largest size. The applicants were carefully chosen. It's very academic, and we would prepare delicately for that part. Freestyle photographers can apply for that exhibition. So how many candidates were there this year? 2,500 photographers applied this year, and finally 100 were chosen. Where are you taking us? I heard that you would take us to appreciate the works of a photographer that had a lot of Oriental aesthetics elements. That's it. It's called Landscape Odyssey. We have an interpreter now introducing the works. Do you contact those artists frequently to invite them to Lishui? Yes, Mr. Ye started his career from Lishui. He used to have his exhibition in the pump station site. This is like a slipper. Yes, He used to live by the ocean. Very bright colors were chosen by Mr. Ye. So could you please introduce about the meanings behind the works? He wants to show the relationship between environment and man. As you can see, there are many physical objects exhibited here on the columns. It's a very special exhibition. So we could have a first-hand experience about our relationship with nature. When you choose the finalists, what are the criteria? We look at the works to see if their works can create some academic topics for discussion, whether the topics are modern, and about the exhibition forms, whether the exhibition forms are very impressive or are very carefully prepared. You could sense that his works have a lot of energy and designs put into them. I hear there are 3 floors, and there are different designs of the 3 floors. The second floor is about international exhibition, and the first floor is about freestyle photography. Yeah, we can take a tour around. The second floor exhibits international organizations' work, including the U.S. institutions, the Roger Byron exhibition, for example. This way, please. For the freestyle photography work, where were they exhibited before? In the pump station exhibition hall. Interestingly, since Mr. Ye is here, how about we let him to introduce by himself? Hello, everyone. Mr. Wang was just then introducing the intonations behind your artworks. He said that the works include a lot of Oriental beauty. So could you please share about the highlights of your works? Every piece of my work is my favorite. Just randomly choose one. Maybe this one. We take a lot of portraits. We use the simplest lights and shadows to focus on the core of the objects. For example, white-colored background. Those simple, they're powerful backgrounds. They can reinforce the objects in the front. I was inspired by the coastline. During my travels, I saw so many discarded wastes by men, including plastics, rubber, and iron and steel. I found many marine creatures were born out of those objects. So I found that those plastics were just discarded by men, though they provided us with convenience. And in the end, we eat those marine lives. As a photographer, I called for everyone to pay attention to environmental protection. Only when more people are involved into this cause, can we live in a better environment, and can we lead a healthier life. That's my mission as a photographer. Is this your first time to be part of this conference? And what's your idea about such a platform? This platform provides us an opportunity to show our talents and to enable more people to understand what we are doing. Their attention is drawn to not just the photography works. That's the point of this conference. So I am more than happy to show my works on this platform. Usually my works are exhibited in big galleries or museums or exhibitions, but Lishui is one of my favorites. And this World Photographers Conference could invite more visitors to see my works and to get some idea about my thoughts and logic. And coming here, I myself can appreciate more artistic works, and I could broaden my horizon and further extend the space of my creation. So are those real photos taken by you? Yes, those objects are now exhibited. Those things require environmental protection works. Actually, it's a very small object, but I hope to provide such an overwhelming feeling. I used diversified methods. For example, the barnacle. That is the core of my exhibition. Thank you, Mr. Ye. We will go upstairs, and there are more to explore. It's worth a visit. On the second floor, that's international exhibitions, and on the third floor, it's different this year. All the boutique works are shown on the third floor. As I said, the second floor exhibits international works. There are 3 floors. The first floor includes devices and freestyle works. The second floor includes international works. And now let's move upstairs to appreciate more comprehensive artworks. So, what artworks are exhibited on the third floor? We have invited Mr. Shu Qiaoming, one of our staff from the organizing committee. Hello, everyone. You are now seeing one of the exhibition sites of this World Photographers Conference, and this is the first year for this site to be put into use. It's very important. And in this site, we have collected the boutique works in the past 20 years. And there are 4 segments. The first segment is about the international photography works, and the second part is about the Chinese photographers' classic works. And the third segment includes those listed works in the rankings. And the fourth one is about the awarded works during the previous photographers' conference or festivals. Were those previous winners exhibited before? For example, they have several platforms to exhibit the works, like the Photographers Conference, photography festivals, the rankings. We collected those boutiques from those platforms. And then you collect them and exhibit them all together on this new platform. Yeah, it's like a review. When you pick the artworks, what are the criteria? Because I heard that in the special exhibition part of the third floor, it's permanently open. Yes. For the visitors who travel to Lishui, they could come anytime to appreciate the classics in China and abroad. So it's open to the public all year round. Some works are pretty famous. I just saw a work about the girl with very big eyes. It's from the Xiwang project. I do hope that this girl is living a happy life. I heard that she is now working in ICBC Bank. Are there any other classic works that you could show us? And how many works are shown here? We have exhibited 187 works. in the segment number 3, those are in the rankings of photography festival. Relatively speaking, those works are more artistic and young. Some are experimental. I heard in addition to the 3rd floor, the 2nd and 1st floor would be improved after this conference. After the end of this exhibition, this building would undergo a refurbishing process again. For example, we would lay down the imported materials, the wood panels on the floor. There has never been such big exhibition sites before, right? Yes. In 2007, we looked for the space for the exhibition. Everywhere. We went to many entities to borrow the space for exhibition. But now with this building finished, we would have a permanent site for exhibition. In the future, we don't have to search for the space everywhere. So the government is making effort to truly create a famous city with photography element. And also for the photographers and citizens, they could have such a place to communicate and interact. Citizens and artists could appreciate those collections. They would have a place to go to. It's a fixed site. For the 3rd floor, are you going to introduce different photos into the 3rd floor? I see some AI-created works, and just like in the museum, I saw some AI-supported works as well. We would add some more photos into the exhibition site several years in between. There would be some changes. For this type of artistic works, just like AI technology-supported works, what is the special point about their collections? For example, limitations of their collections. I don't think there are necessarily some limitations. For example, the devices of the artists. We have some standardized warehouses to store the devices. And when we prepare for the exhibitions, we would put the equipment in the store, in the warehouses. We have to keep the temperature, the constant temperature and humidity in the warehouses. This site is pretty professional. I heard that you have prepared specially for the photography exhibition, for example, the lighting and the temperature. Could you please tell us more about the lighting preparation? Lighting is a very important part for the photography exhibition. The room temperature is important too. For example, the racks, the distance of the racks, and the walls must be particular. If they are too close, the lighting is not very effective. But if they are too far, it's too dark. So, in terms of the brightness, the color, temperature, there are many criteria. Exactly. When we exhibit the artworks, how the lights can play a role to exhibit the effects, we must be very critical about them. We must have a very proper lighting conditions in order to exhibit these artistic works. You've been involved in the organization committee for years. What are the changes over the years? From the information's perspective, with informatization and internet technologies development, it's very convenient. Many international works could be invited in, and some Chinese photographers can freely communicate with the international peers to have some clash of ideas. So, we are growing more diversified, and the contents are more enriched, and the exhibition methods are more abundant. Since 1999, Lishui was cited as the first photography hometown. It's been 20 years' time, and in terms of photography culture, industry, and talents, locally in Lishui, it has gone a long way. According to my knowledge, the World Photographers Conference this year would be held from the 10th to 12th of October. And if you have time, please take a tour here to experience the charm here. Thank you.